Hey y'all, it's me. You know what? This is my 13th take. The last one was 14 minutes, and I just don't know if I can do this. I want to talk about masturbation, and how it can help you survive divorce, but I just can't get through it. So it just might mean that I'm not equipped to talk about this subject, and I think I'm just going to have to call it quits. Uh, I mean, what can you say? Sometimes you have to admit defeat. But thank you anyway for tuning in to this, despite my inability to complete this topic. This is the best channel on YouTube that talks about this surviving divorce. And yeah, man, it sucks. So anyway, what I was going to talk about is was in my mind is why masturbation is important in surviving divorce is because of learning how to pleasure yourself and to reduce the need to want to run out and put yourself in a bad situation by promiscuous sex, STDs, unwanted pregnancy, and things like that. Also, wanted to say, look at masturbation as a way of, remember, I keep saying it every one of the video. It's like we have a golden chance to make ourselves over. This is a big redo, and we want to make ourselves a better version of ourselves. And masturbation can help you become a better lover, become a better version of yourself in bed. And I know you might be like, man, my game is tight, and that might be. But all I know is that the statistics for divorce note or show that the second leading cause of divorce tends to be across the board, no matter what survey you look at, is infidelity. So that means somebody ain't doing what they're supposed to be doing in bed, or somebody's not doing what they need to be doing before you get in bed, or somebody's not doing what they need to be doing on the way out of bed. And so masturbation at this stage where you're by yourself and you don't have ready access to sex. I know you might be like, I didn't have ready access to sex when I was married. Yeah, you got it. All right, that's funny. But now that you have this golden opportunity to go to the lab and recreate yourself, masturbation is a great tool in becoming a better lover, especially if your partner left to be with someone else in bed. All right. Now, I'm excited, don't get me wrong, but I just want to make sure my words are measured because I'm loving life. But I do want to say that infidelity, okay, listen, sex is a means to an end. So infidelity and sex are linked in that sex is a means to cure whatever it is that caused the infidelity. So, for instance, revenge. You slept with someone, so your partner's going to sleep with someone and have sex. So the sex is the way in which they can enact revenge. Connectedness, right? They have sex with you or the lack of sex with you, they don't feel connected to you. They want to feel connected to somebody. They want to feel connected to a human being, someone that cares about them, someone that loves them. You don't give it to them. You might give it to them in certain ways, but they want it in a sexual way, in a physical way. So and so over there can make them feel alive and happy and complete. So they have sex with them. So sex is a means of feeling that commitment, feeling that love, feeling that which you don't give them. Sex can also be a way of feeling like a woman. Have you become the person that only looks at her as the maid, as the person who takes care of the kids, as the person who cooks, as the person who cleans up the mess, as the person who takes care of the bills or whatever? Do you look at her as anything but that girlfriend, that one that you were so much in love with when you first met? And then maybe they don't see themselves as being attractive, lovely, and whatnot. Someone else, though, might say, ooh, you're sexy, you look good, your eyes look pretty, blah, 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 you're this, you're wonderful, blah, 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 and filling in the gap where you didn't, and then that becomes an easy way. So having sex with that person who values them, who sees them as a woman, as a sexual being, as something to be desired, sex with them makes them feel complete, makes them feel what's missing, what you have failed to give them. And like I said, don't give me this shit about you didn't do it, that she was just horny and she was just a slut or whatever. Bullshit, right? Bullshit. Now that may be, hey, some people do have, but I hear that the percentages is very, very, very small percentage of the entire population who's a nymphomaniac, right? A lot of times this stuff is like self-inflicted gun wounds by ourselves. It's like the letter, remember yesterday's episode, sorry, the lady, she admitted that she was just always talking to her husband about the bills, about soccer practice, about fixing things around the house, about vacation, about all this other stuff. Never told him, oh, you look beautiful, you're handsome, you like your muscles, I like the way. And someone else did that, and he ran off and had sex with them. So now if a woman can admit it, you can man up and fucking admit it, okay? So anyway, so sex is a means to fulfill all those things. It also is a way to poor performance in the bed. All right, now guys, we don't like to talk about this shit, but we need to, especially if we're going to make a better version of ourselves for the next person. Because if we don't, we're going to have the same results. If you suck in bed and you do nothing to improve or get better, you're going to suck for the next person and you're going to run into the same thing. So you got this choice. You're going to keep sucking in bed, then you best to fix your personality. You better be A1 sharp at every other aspect, else you're going to run right back into this thing, okay? And you can get better in bed. And masturbation during this period of divorce is an excellent tool to get there. Well, I'm glad you asked. Okay, so how is it an excellent tool to become a better lover and whatnot? Well, first of all, like I said, we don't talk about this, right? We just, guys, we're in the locker room, we just like, yeah, my shit is good. Yeah, okay. Having a penis is not synonymous with being a good lover. All right, good lover is a lot of things, and we're not going to go through everything that it is. We're just talking about improving your game and how masturbation can do that. So the first thing I want to do is I want to separate masturbation and pornography. I am not talking about masturbating to pornography, because masturbating to pornography is a whole different thing. All right. In fact, it's actually a new phenomenon if you really look at it, because I grew up in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and masturbating back then, it was like the Sears catalog. We didn't have enough guts to walk into the store to buy a Playboy, so it was like magazines like Vogue, Cosmopolitan, and things like that. Okay. Nowadays, you just got it on your phone, your computer, your laptop, and it's just accessible. And so what you're getting now is these porn does. It's like dial-up dopamine. You get a quick fix. It's just like taking a hit of crack cocaine. Go in there, you look at something for a couple of minutes, and boom, you get yourself off, and then you're fucking out of there. And that could, I'm not saying it is, but that could be a problem in your marriage or your ex-marriage, or with your partner, is that in this day and age, we are so accustomed to everything happening quickly. We want our fast food, go to fast food restaurants, we want our food quickly. We want the fastest internet speed because we want our pages to pop up quickly. We go on vacation, we don't drive places too much anymore because we want to fly and get there quickly. We don't want to stand in line at amusement parks, so we buy a fast pass so we can get on the ride quickly. We want to do things faster, faster, faster. And if you're not careful, that's the same way that happens in the bed. Guys, come on. Be real. Get into bed. I want mine. I'm horny. I'm going to get it, and I'm going to fall asleep, or I'm going to get out. Get in, get out. Forget about what the woman wants. I'll placate her a little bit, but shit, I'm tired, That could be the mentality. I'm going to say that's the mentality of quite a few people, right? And so where masturbation can help in that is that if you stop masturbating to, you say, I'm going to masturbate, but not to porn, erotic novels, or these movies, and I say porn, I'm thinking, when I say porn, let me stretch this back. Not all porn is bad. There is some porn that is beneficial to you, and that would be like porn made by women for women, that kind of porn. If you masturbate to that kind of porn, softcore porn, that's cool, but also erotic novels. But the point is, whether it's erotic novels, softcore porn, or porn made for women, is that it's porn. It's designed to take time, and that's how you become a better lover, is to learn to take time, right? So instead of doing like what most people do, get on and hit these little websites and they're out of the closet in a few minutes, take time with yourself. Learn how to enjoy a lengthy period of sexual gratification, because that's what women tend to like and are going to tend to want, just because their bodies are built differently than ours. And if you can all of a sudden learn to maybe take a little bit longer to achieve orgasm, if you can learn to build to a plateau, if you can learn to be more attentive, that can help you become a better lover. And you can do that through masturbation. Also, one of the things that men don't talk about is this fantasy world. Now, since men are visual, we like to look at porn. I mean, I'm saying we, but I'm just saying, if you look at porn, men look at porn because they're visual creatures, okay? There are books out there that do just the same thing without the visualization. For instance, when I was married, my ex had a book, and it was called My Secret Garden by a lady named Nancy Friday. Nancy Friday did this thing in the 70s. She sent an article out in the newspaper, and she solicited fantasies from women anonymously, and then she published them. Whatever the fantasy was, she published them. And this book is a compilation of all these different fantasies that these women have, that they masturbate to, that they orgasm to. Get that? That they masturbate to and that they orgasm to. And this is important because depending on who you talk to, how true they are with you, quite a few women out there have never orgasmed having sex with their partner. A lot of them, if they're honest, will tell you that they orgasm by masturbating. Why? Because of their fantasy world, what's going on through their mind. Because the biggest sex organ is not the penis, it's not the breast, not the vagina, it is the mind. And men, if you took the time to read this book, you would be fascinated by elaborate fantasies that these women concoct in their mind in order to get off. So, and the thing is that these fantasies don't happen over the course of like a minute, or I mean, maybe in their mind when they go through it in their mind, you can go through in a minute or whatnot. They're elaborate fantasies. It takes time. It's a build up. It's a gradual build up to release. Well, we need to start developing that and concocting that in our minds. Instead of just thinking about, oh, I just want to hit it and go, what about, I'm going to build this up. I'm going to build this up. I'm going to dress this way. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to lead her down a path to seduction. And then be attentive with her in bed. And then I'm going to get her off first, and then myself. And why can I do that? Because when I found myself divorced and without a partner, and it decided that I was going to please myself with masturbation, that I used masturbation to develop attentiveness, longevity, right? And seduction, all this stuff like that. So that's what I'm saying, that masturbation can be a good tool for you in surviving divorce, because it's all about improving ourselves. And guys, there's a book called He Comes Next, and it's the same premise as Nancy Friday's My Secret Garden, and they deal with men who talked about fantasies that they had. Another thing about masturbating and not using porn is it gets us out of this rut that society has us in, that I need titillating images to get sexually aroused. Having a fantasy world and being able to concoct things in your mind without looking at all this exploitive stuff that becomes addictive, and then it becomes numbing, and you need more and more degrading stuff to get off. Being able to develop a fantasy world also helps keep the sex fresh, right? So when you're having sex with your person, whoever that new person is going to be, going through your mind is not shit that you saw on your phone. Going through your mind is not the shit that's like baked into your mind from all these fucking websites, right? It's that person who's there with you. It's the scenario that you created. It's the dinner that led to the car ride home, that led to the glass of wine at home, that led to the bedroom. It's the foreplay that gets you there. And you know what that means? It only means this one thing, and it is the most important thing we haven't. I'm talking about sex that's going to sustain a relationship, and that's presence. You're there with that person, not someplace else you haven't checked out in your mind just to get off. You're present, and being present is the most important thing that you can do, and you can learn to be present. How? By masturbating. And masturbating, I'm not going to say correctly, but use masturbation as a tool to learn to develop your sexual prowess, your sexual energy in bed, and develop this fucking brain of yours, okay? I guess that's the big thing, is that masturbation can help you develop the biggest sex organ right here. All right, it takes time, it's hard, it's difficult, yes, because we're programmed, we're men, we're programmed to get in, get out. But I'm just saying, take time with yourself, learn to please yourself, learn your body, right? Develop a sexual landscape. And that sexual landscape will help you be a better sexual partner, at least I hope it will, with the next person. Because if you're still sucking bad after you get a royal do-over, and they could cheat on you because you suck in bed, or because you're not a good lover, because you're not attentive, because you're only in it for yourself, and you know what? You get what you fucking deserve. Alright? So, guys, whatever you do, however you do it, first of all, don't use degrading porn. But celebrate life. I'll see you in the next episode.